Hey everybody, this is Derek with Amavidi Studios, and this video I'm going to take a bunch of goo and turn it into a flag. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to share my thoughts on why going cheap can be very expensive. So my inspiration for this pour was the Bisexual flag, which is made up of pink on top, blue on the bottom, with a nice purple in between. Now I'm sure there's some deep symbology here, but that's not for this video. Now, when I got started, I didn't really know what I was doing, and if I'm honest, I still feel like there's so much that I don't know about turning silicone into adult toys. But since I got started, I've learned a few things, and I'll share a few of them here. I think my first tip is to hemorrhage as much money as you can on tools. And you know what, I'm only partially joking here. I once heard a professional golfer interviewed, and they asked him, hey, what do you think of the amateur golfer that comes out with the $2,000 set of custom clubs and he's like a 20 handicap? And he said, yeah, he could probably benefit from those custom clubs a lot more than I could, and therefore really needs them more than the professional golfer. And I think the same goes for toy making. If you've been making toys for years, you could probably make something awesome with whatever you find lying around your studio. But if you're just starting out, then spending a little extra to make things easier for yourself could be a great investment. I think a prime example of this is the 3D printers. Yes, you can buy an inexpensive Creality printer for under $200. But I would give you a little bit of a warning or heads up. Those printers are not the greatest, and they tend to fail more than others. Now, I know people who love their Creality printers, and they get great results, but they've also been working with those printers for years. And they know exactly how they work and have made tons and tons of upgrades and changes to those printers. I also know a lot of beginners who've had their Creality printer for a year and never gotten a good print out of it. So if you're just starting out, don't go cheap on your tools. If you're an amateur, you're going to benefit from those nice tools even more so than a professional. Of course, you need to do it responsibly, but everybody has that thing they're into. They have their own hobbies. Some people buy a new car every year. Some people like to go on expensive vacations, have kids, or whatever it is that you want to spend your money on. That's fine, and if your thing is having nice tools, you don't have to have a certain baseline of toy making ability before buying those new tools. I say buy them sooner rather than later. They're going to do you a lot more good now than they are farther down the road when you're quote-unquote ready for them. Consider something like the Anycubic Viper, which is only $350. Yes, it's more expensive than the Creality, but I have one and I've never gotten a bad print from it. I think my next tip would be let go of your perfectionism and embrace the randomness of what we do. As creatives, so many of us have a vision or expectation of what we want our toys to look like when they're done. But silicone is random, and it does random things when we're pouring it. There's lots of weird fluid dynamics happening that are influenced by the temperature, the viscosity, the additives we use, even the barometric pressure of the weather can impact the results. I'm serious. As the pressure changes with the weather, that can have an impact on how fast or how slow the vacuum pulls all of the air out of the silicone. And as you get closer to the end of the pot life, the silicone can start to thicken up on you, which will change the way that the silicone lays in the mold. For example, as I was pouring this, the pink came out faster than the blue, which means that the tip is going to have more pink in it than anything else. And if this was a perfect pour, the pink, the blue, and the purple would go into the mold at exactly the same time. But it didn't, and that's okay. Anyway, my point is, this is art, and we should learn to let the art be what it is and not get too frustrated when things go awry. You might even like it better. Now, this video has been a little bit different than some of the others, so drop on down to the comments section and let me know what you think. And with that, I am out, and I'll catch you in the next video.